So this is my project on group making decisions. This is about the parking problem at UNH, and in my opinion, the problems are that there are not enough parking for everyone, and also where the people are parking. By this, I mean that there's not enough room for everyone to park on campus or places the campus owns, as well as where the different groups are allowed to have cars and park them, and where they are relative to where they live if they're not a commuter, or where they park if they are a commuter. The nominal group technique is when everyone that's participating in a group votes on different solutions and rank them in orders of best to worst, and that after everyone's opinion, the best solution would get implemented, and it would be implemented for the entire group. The nominal group technique breaks down into 5 steps. The first step is introduction and explanation. This is when the facilitator introduces the problem to the group and tell the participant how everything is going to work and how this is going to flow. The second step is when the participants come up with ideas and solutions to the problem that they are facing. The third step is when the participant shares their ideas with everyone about the solutions. Step 4 is when the group discusses the solutions that are present and that the other people came up with, and asks questions and either come up with more solutions for the problem. And step 5 is when the group votes on what they think the best solution for the problem is. The pros and cons for this technique: the pros are that the solution is being created by the people directly affected by the problem, and that the people directly affected by the problem gets to vote on the best solution. However, the cons are the solutions can have consequences to people who are not in that group, and that the solution at the end is not being watched for possible consequences. The next technique is the standard agenda, and this is when a solution to a problem is put into play and then by a group not affected by the problem or the issue, so it's not biased, and the solution is watched by a facilitator, and it can be changed if necessary. However, this is done in 6 steps. The first step is to define the problem, and this is when the facilitator determines different questions on the problem and decide if the problem is factual, value, or policy. The second step is gathering information. This is when the group's not affected by the problem gets information about the problem. The next step, step 3, is when the group comes up with criteria to box the solutions in. Then step 4 is when the group comes up with solutions. However, these solutions can be some solutions that were rethought from step 2. Step 5 is when the best solution is put into play because it stands up to all the criteria from step 3. And step 6 is when the facilitator watches the solution that's in play and determines if it needs to be changed based on if there are any consequences after the fact. The pros and cons of this technique is that the pros are it's not biased. Also, that it's being watched at the end to check for any consequences so that the solution could be changed if needed. However, the cons are that the people coming up with solutions are not directly affected by the problem, so that they may not have the best information to change it the way it needs to be, as well as that the solution could be changed so many times because the solutions are not working, and it could confuse everyone involved with it. I believe the best method for the parking problem at UNH is the nominal group technique. I think this because for this problem, people involved in this problem needs to be people who are affected by it, and for them to come up with a decision because it affects them personally. And if it's done by someone not affected by the problem, that it might cause more harm than good. Like, if I come up with solutions myself, then it may not be what is needed. This is because I do not park on campus because I don't have a car, so I'm not part of that group. However, there are both pros and cons to both techniques.